terms of the Jaden Ivey situation
That we are
what
referring
is-
to right now, yes.
um, well, first of all, I think it's funny when everyone's talking about like the religious psychosis, whatever, and I was just sitting there like laughing about like, no, that's just what happens when you have to go from playing on the Pistons to playing on fucking Bulls. But that was gonna say there, it's I mean, it was diabolical beyond belief. I don't even know. Like, did you see the thing where he said, someone said, what do you think of the Pistons? And he said something like, the Pistons don't matter in, like, the afterlife. Basically saying, like, in terms of, like, in a world where God's real, the Pistons don't matter. And, like, it was just weird. I don't know. I don't know if I just thought he was
Yeah.
going crazy, if he's on
Did you
drugs, he's just,
did
like,
you see what he
religious
said about
psychosis.
Well, the main thing I saw was the thing there. He's just is like saying LGBT people are
Oh, yeah.
unrighteous.
When
It's
he
like it's
said,
unrighteous.
he's saying
Unrighteousness.
he said the NBA is celebrating unrighteousness when they support
Celebrating
NBA Pride Month.
unrighteousness.
I
Right,
think it's
yeah,
so
yeah.
funny. One of the top comments I saw on the video I
Maybe.
saw that said, "This is the only sin they care about," and it's so dead ass. It is
Yeah,
the
right.
literal only sin that they harp on all the damn time. Like, it's the
Yeah.
most ridiculous thing ever.
A sin that's like you basically wait, what it should you play
Oh.
Oh, this guy's gotta let us do the dueling, right?
Yeah, maybe one. This might be our best option. Um, but yeah, no, it's so damn funny to me, and it's also like it made me think. So pretty recently, actually, it was while I was reading Meditations. Um,
Nice.
hell yeah, we got it.
Nice. I got support
It
too.
was when I was reading Meditations, and he was talking about, I believe, in the first book, he's talking about from my, and he's just saying like what the people in his life like imparted on him, type of thing. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
And he says from, I believe, his adoptive father, which is like his grandpa technically, who was like the emperor at the time, he said something about how like part of what he taught him is to like basically stop guys from doing homosexual things. And I was dying laughing because I was like, do you think they were having so much gay sex that the emperor had to be thinking about it on a daily basis? Like, you know what I mean? Because like I feel like when you hear about the old times, it's pretty consistent that there was a lot of like homosexual activity and homoerotic stuff going on, and to think like the emperor of Rome was actively being like thinking of ways to like stop people from having so much gay sex, I was dying laughing because I was like, and also that goes into another theory that I brought up to Macy, as I was talking about how like in times of like war and like extreme emotion, like it feels like, at least in like pop culture and stuff, we kind of like, you kind of connect like the brutality of war and like sex, you know what I mean? Like it
Yeah.
almost, it like always portrays
Yeah.
it as like making it way more sexual, like, or like people are in a more sexual, just like barbaric mood, you know what I mean? Which like is inherently, I guess, sexual and like yeah. So I was talking to Macy about that. I don't know if she agrees with me about it, like.
Well, okay, that actually reminds me, I was literally listening to a podcast about a movie that I just watched. Wait, which one was the podcast about? Well, it wasn't the Little Miss Sunshine, but I did just watch that. But it was how was a different one? God, why am I blanking? Super hard. All right, let me look at it because it relates to what you say. Actually, it's not that off topic. How do I go to like recent listening?
Are you saying on like YouTube?
Spotify. Oh wait, I got
Spotify, I don't know. Okay.
Spring Breakers. That was the movie. Have you seen that movie?
Yeah. When I was younger, yes.
Okay, it's pretty, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But anyways, and they were talking about that movie, how like, basically, and how in a lot of movies, like, there's always this kind of link between sex and death,
Yeah.
and how like death can be like eroticized, in like a way, especially, and I kind of feel like that might be similar, kind of similar
Yeah,
to what you're
that
talking
is kind
about
of
with
similar.
like,
I feel like
because in times
the
of war,
way
it's like
that
you feel death coming, and it's like it's almost like because sex is related to to having kids, right? And having kids is like a
so do you think
timely
it's like
thing
a
too.
primal
So
thing
it's
like,
like,
oh, we need to have
yeah,
a
I do,
kid before we die?
I do.
Okay,
Something
okay.
like that. That would
That
be
makes more
my
sense because
an evolutionary lens makes sense to me. I feel like I don't, but I
yeah, no,
could
that
be
does make
overstating
more
that a
sense
little bit.
because that I think that was what makes these issues with what I was saying is I didn't really have my reason or like
Right.
I was like I know it
Nah,
happens,
sometimes you
but like
just yeah, but sometimes you just see
yeah.
a thing and you're like, this is a thing. I don't know why it's a
Yeah, and so
thing.
no, that
So
definitely
I
makes more
definitely
sense.
agree.
Where like it's like not even a inherent, and also I think a lot of things like that that like
Have you heard of
say
Death
in the
Drive?
far past, like in the far past it was fully like reproduction and sex thing, but then you get so
Right.
attuned to it that maybe even today we don't fear not being able to reproduce, but it's been so long of those things being connected that you're like inherently used to connecting them. You know what I mean?
Well, in that sense, we're beyond evolution because our
Yeah,
relationship to technology affects us more than evolution ever could. It's so slow
yeah.
that I think our evolution is way behind. I mean, and then you could start getting into conversations of, I mean, to me that literally like defines like our modern definition of anxiety is like the set to me it's literally like the fact that we're evolutionary not supposed to be doing this and here we are and it's like we're not caught up to it. I don't know, like it's like we're smart enough to do it but it's like our bodies I don't think are ready for it. Anyways, I could go into more on that, but uh oh shit, Belica sucks. Oh my god, we're cooking Belica.
They got a Howie
um
carry.
how we what the fuck. Sorry, I lost my train of thought while we were cooking that Belka. Oh shit.
Yeah, see, we're also I'm jumping to between so many thoughts I've been having recently because for
Yeah,
some
same.
reason all the stuff I've been looking into recently have been like super connected.
Mm.
Um, especially with like meditations and stuff. I also there
Oh
was a
yeah,
couple parts
nice.
of meditations that I wanted to bring up to you, see what you thought about it. One of the main ones, which like obviously Marcus Aurelius is like definitely a Stoic.
Right.
But in book 2 he talks about how there's no reason to like fear what you
Oops.
lose with death because every moment in the future hasn't happened yet, so by dying you don't lose anything because those moments haven't happened. And it's basically saying you also shouldn't think about the past because those moments have happened, and there's like, I mean, that's like the more cliche thing, but I'm more interested in like how he talks about how since every moment of the future has never happened, there's no reason to fear death. And I
Right.
think it's sometimes funny, which like I agree. Like I don't think if you're actually like sitting there and constantly thinking about when you're gonna die and like stuff like that, you definitely shouldn't be. But I think it's funny where sometimes it's like such a human thought. It's like no, you need to curb that. It's like, well, what do you want? Oh my God,
What?
he ate my ass.
Howie?
Yeah.
Damn.
Um. But like it's just interesting because I feel like
Yeah.
it like forces if you actually want to follow most of these things. Oh my God, Chimera! God damn it, bro! I took my hand off. I saw him on the screen, but I took my hand off the controller. Um, but if you want to like follow most of these, like I was really thinking when you were reading it saying like I was never an emperor, so it's hard for me to relate to Marcus Aurelius, and that is almost something I'm thinking about when I'm reading this. It's like a lot of these things he's saying, you can expect an emperor to like do those things because they've taken a position where they have to be more than the average human and they have to act in a way differently than the average person. So it's almost like I really don't think in a like obviously in anything you can make a general sense, but it is crazy to me how many people try to take things that like the Roman emperor, like one of the most powerful people in like human history, is saying about his own life and how he lives it.
Yeah.
And but
Yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, yeah, I think it's a But even in a sense to where it's like with Socrates, it's shockingly not that way. It's like, why does this guy feel like me? Why do I feel like
Literally, yeah.
I wish I knew this guy? Versus like, for him, it's like, oh, like, yeah, I would never even think of these things, and like, it doesn't really apply to my life, and that's just like,
Yeah.
the fact, yeah, and like, I guess it's like an alpha mentality to think it does in a sense.
Literally.
Kind of like,
It's
I don't know, in a
no,
weird way,
that's so
like it's
facts.
stupid, but you could argue that. Here, I'm gonna go back. And real quick before I answer your thing about the death, not worrying about your death and stuff.
Damn it.
I was gonna say, I briefly remembered the thing I would like to wrap up the thing I was saying earlier about how I think our evolution, and in that sense, I think our evolution, like evolutionarily, pondering death makes no fucking sense, and yet I think we like want to do it. And that's where I disagree with Marcus Aurelius. It's like, well, why do we yearn to do it all the time and find these incredible escapes to it? And like, I don't know.
Dude, what
It's
the
like
fuck?
oh damn, it could.
Playing like shit.
I just think he writes off too easily, like, the innate urge to do these things. What do you think about that?
That's
like,
my thing.
I just pondered that. Like,
That's
do you
way
think I
more
would want to?
interesting. Exactly.
I'm a
that's the
human,
thing. It's like
bro.
I don't
It's part of our
choose to do it,
condition.
and that's what was making
He's
me
writing
think so
about
hard.
it, right? Like, he's telling you
yeah,
not to do it
exactly.
because he does it.
Exactly, because
He
there
wishes
was a
he
point
didn't
in
do
his
it,
life
probably.
where he stopped doing it and was
Maybe,
like, this
yeah.
was better, you know. What I
Or
mean?
was there though?
Like,
I mean, he's talking. He's
well,
like,
I
he's
feel
like
like
not really
the
giving
first
advice
chap-
in a sense. It's a meditate. Oh shit! Cook.
I feel like
You think
I feel
he's
like that
overcome?
kind of makes sense for it. Damn. I gotta lock in because this conversation's goated. I want to post this video. But what was I gonna say? I think like the first chapter, I feel like kind of implies that like for a lot of this stuff there was a point where, you know what I mean, it's like these people taught me to do these things, and since he was emperor, instead of having one mentor, he has like 1,000 mentors who all like harden themselves towards their area, but since he wanted to be an emperor, he had to do it in every area, you know what I mean? And that's where it's like ridiculous to expect a normal person to do it. And that's where I was thinking of what you were saying, where it's like I can't relate to this because I don't feel the need to like put aside all my human emotion to be the person I want to be, whereas for him you have to think more objectively and put aside your feelings because you're thinking for an empire, you know what I mean?
And what do you think about this? This is where, and this is my big critique of the Stoic. Like, they have this idea of like, I haven't read it, but I've like heard of it in other things, of like the Stoic sage. And basically, it's kind of like their ideal, right? Like maybe something that they'd never get to, but their ideal. I kind of think it's kind of unclear whether they think people can get there. And oh shit. And it's basically, I think, where people just kind of they do the Stoic virtues like almost innately, like it just becomes a part of who they are versus like having to practice to be Stoic, right? Like,
Yeah.
and having to work at them, I guess, or something. And to me though, it's like, I feel like in a I don't want to conflate this whole shit. But I just feel like that person would have to be someone who like isn't tapped into their emotions in a way that I'm like uncomfortable with. I don't think people should be. So like, I get it. Like I really like it as like a certain perspective, but it's like, I don't know. What do you think of that? Like, I want to tap into my emotions. I think it makes me a better person.
Yeah,
and I've never seen that where, I'm not saying he's telling you not to tap into them, but it seems like his advice would lead you to do that. That's really what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying
that exactly.
So
it's like
how do you
making it
avoid
seem
that?
like that's the way to live. Where it's like this is the correct way to be. Oh
Watch
my
out,
god,
Kanye.
Henry.
God damn.
Like, dude, just get the fuck out of our lane. Yeah, I definitely agree with that, and that makes it like I've been joking recently as I've been reading this stuff to Macy about like being more stoic, whatever,
Yeah.
and it does kind of make me think like when I read this stuff, it's crazy to think that like this isn't like to me. I take all like stoicism, nihilism, utilitarian, like everything you ever learn. You know what I mean? Like I take them and I put them together, and like just take what I like from them and live them in my life. And I feel like that's what you assume everyone's doing. But when I sit there and think like there's people who are so devoted to being stoic that they would curb their like human emotions and they would do this stuff, that's kind of crazy to me. Like I would never do
Well,
that.
okay.
And I
Yeah.
almost don't know. Like I kind of respect it in a way. You know what I mean? It's like, you know what,
I
you're doing
definitely
something that,
respect it. Yeah.
but it's also, it's like, I don't know.
Okay, let me ask you this. What do you think about the idea of like adopting labels in the sense that like you say, okay, I read these different philosophies and I take things from them,
Wait,
but
should we just accept this and get a new game going? Then I can keep this combo into the next game. I'm doing that.
yeah. Yeah,
But yeah, keep going.
But what do you think? Here's what I like about someone just saying like I'm gonna try to be a stoic, is that I think when you okay, and I'm not saying you're doing this, but I'm just setting up like a two polar opposites. So when you commit to something so much that it becomes your life, I think it becomes a dogma in the sense that you don't question it enough.
Yes.
But I think when you don't adopt a label of something you truly believe in, it's like the other side of like, well, your beliefs are your actions, and you're never gonna act on them if you just say, "Well, I'm taking all these." Well, if you take a bunch from all these philosophies, you're they're competing though. These philosophies aren't all like it's like in my world. I just think only certain philosophies work and apply to right, and I'm sure you agree with that. But I just think I wouldn't.
Yeah, and I think the ones that I connect together
labels.
definitely are
like
connected enough. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot, and it's also I don't know. I
mean, I'm
like
not
getting the chance to. I feel like when you give it, there's just a lot more. When you give it a label, when I say I want to become more stoic versus I want to take the best from everything, you can look at like you're not making something new, you're building on you're expounding on something that's been there, you know what I mean? So it's like it's almost, if at least for me, I like to live my life where I want to be able to speak my moral code. I want to be able to say who I want to be in like the way, like if I say I want to be stoic, I want to explain why, you know what I mean? Like what about stoicism interests me? And so yeah, I think I agree with that.
Yeah.
It's like you can only, if you're going to be taking the best from things, it has to be things that connect in a way that makes some kind of sense. Because I think being hypocritical and being contradictory are two things you can't be doing if this is something you're chasing.
Yeah. Yeah, the only like slight, I guess not even really rebuttal, but sometimes I think when I think of like being contradictory, I just think that's the nature of beliefs and the nature of like when you read something that's better than the thing you read before, you should adopt that. And that in a sense is contradictory, but I see what you're saying, like it not in that sense really. Like,
more what I mean is, say you read something better than before, you can't accept both things. You have to figure out, you know what I mean? It's like what is, you know what I mean? It's like if that's better, you have to throw away the old thing, or you have to, you know what I mean, say why this better writing isn't what you believe, you know what I mean?
Not only do you have to throw it away, but you have to like throw it away and then like really like realize like, and I'm thinking about like for myself, like religion, like is this like contend with why you might be trying to keep it. Like I've noticed that that's kept me more involved in like just not being a dogmatic atheist, because I really don't believe there's a God when I go about the world. I don't really act it, but I do believe you kind of have to either act as if there is one or not, in a sense. I don't know. What do you think? Is that too much of a binary?
Yes, I think, and maybe that's like a human thing, but I feel like you're not questioning enough in your life if you're just in limbo. Like you have to choose one.
And limbo is a lot of times saying you believe, but then just clearly not acting that way.
Clearly,
Like,
yeah,
clearly not really
yeah.
caring, or saying you don't believe, but like, you still kind of like. I've noticed, like, I would like say I don't believe, and then I've noticed, like, throughout my life, whenever like I was in like a really sticky situation, I would still like pray, like, just in case. And that was something where I was like,
Just
okay,
in
like,
case.
why am I
Okay,
just
yep.
in casing? If
Yes,
I'm an atheist, why am I
yes.
just in casing? Stuff like that. Like,
Yes.
that's the contradiction that I think you gotta like live with and
Yeah,
then
I
overcome
feel like you
eventually.
would learn a lot more thinking about that contradiction too versus what you actually believe. It's like, why am I holding
Mhm.
on to something? That's definitely interesting. One thing it makes me think of too, which I heard someone bring up recently. I don't remember where I heard it, but kind of where you're saying it kind of reminds me when you're saying like you can't let go of certain things.
Did my
It's the
pen just fall in the
idea that
trash?
like
Oh, it fell under the
no, I
trash.
thought I heard
No.
something hit a bag, but what was I gonna say?
It fell next to it. We're good.
Yeah, let me hit
Speaking of
mine
that, I'm
before
gonna
I
hit it.
expound on this thought. If you're watching the video right now, go ahead and hit this too. This is gonna be a long one. I think I'm gonna name it something like meditation, stoicism, and something else. Maybe free will,
Yeah.
because that's what I'm about to bring up.
Drop the latest philosophy topic or book or author or whatever you've been into. And
Yeah, we've
if you're
been
new,
on
let it.
meditations right now. What's next?
If you're new, ask for recommendation. We can drop some. Read the Greeks. Start with Greeks. That's all I
Read the
gotta say for
friggin'
that.
Greeks. They're
Read
not
the fucking
overrated. They're the ghosts for a reason.
They're not overrated. They're the OGs.
They're just the OGs.
They lay the foundation.
It's everything. They're everything. Yes.
They're
It's like
everything,
there's a
bro. They're so everything. They're physics. Aristotle is one of the most influential
Literally.
people in physics ever. Like, it's you don't
It's
even
like,
people don't even realize how everything
it's
they are. Bro.
oh
Like,
my
it's
god,
insane.
you could just have to. And if you're this far in the video, I would be surprised if you're not at least interested in that type of thing or have already kind of looked into it yourself. But
Yeah,
what I was gonna
especially based on
bring
my
up,
title.
yeah, exactly. It'll still
Oh yeah,
obviously be
free
like a
will.
gaming thing, but so the thing with free will and it reminds me of like why you hold on to things is the idea that it's literally impossible to have free will because every decision you make is based off biases that you can't control and you were given before you had your own like thought processes. You know what I mean?
And every word
So
you speak is in a language you inherit. It
exactly.
goes,
It's like that type
that's
of
your
thing.
entire being. Yeah.
Yeah, and so
sure.
that I heard that, and I was like, okay, that's interesting. So if I
Yeah, I
say
like that.
if I say there's no free will because everything I do is already predetermined by my own biases and things people already taught me, then my thought is, okay, well then what is free will? Because to me, that's like it almost made free will a layer deeper than I thought of it. Because to me, even if my biases were a part of it, at least I'm choosing based off my own biases. But when you bring up the idea that, hey, like some of my biases came when I was a baby, I didn't have a choice in that. It's like, dang, so since you're a baby, your free will is taken because you get biases you wouldn't have had otherwise. So what do you think about what do you think about never having free will
Can you
once in
repeat
your
the very
entire
last
life?
part you said?
So basically, your free will is taken from you from the time you're a baby, because you are like you inherit biases before you can even speak or like walk on your own. Probably, you know what I mean? Like the way your parents, like the places your parents are bringing you to, and the way they speak. You know what I mean? It's like things.
Okay. Yeah.
You inherit things before you have a chance to decide what you want to be inheriting.
Don't worry, I've got this on lock.
Oh
and
yeah.
load.
Yeah.
So then and I do believe that. So if that's what you think, then yeah, I don't think we ever have free will in our life.
Your
And
top
that-
is
yeah.
But
Mine
to
is
me, it's
probably
like,
not in the
is free
freest sense, at
will?
least.
Yeah. So it's like, because I literally, in that sense, no, we'd never have free will. But I'm also like, but I don't believe in a God. And I believe that every decision I make is fully my choice. But
Okay. Sorry, go ahead. But
no, I didn't. I was gonna be thinking for a second there. So
no, you're good. Well, okay. Okay, so the question we got this is the classic philosophy conversation, is you got to kind of define free will, at least in the sense that we got to say, like, are we like free? Like, think about a baby. Like, it doesn't feel like
No
babies have
way.
free will. Like, they just do things. And so if that's what we're talking about, free will, as in they make like their own like kind of like because I feel like free will implies like some sort of rational. I feel like we're sleeping on the fact
Yeah.
that when we say free will, we're saying, oh well, that means we know like okay, so if I have free will and then I have the choice to not be religious or be religious, but is it free will because I grew up in a society that's really religious and I said God all the time? Like,
Exactly.
does that mean
Yep.
I don't have
Yep.
free will? My main rebuttal against it, to kind of save us to having free will, because I do believe we do for a couple of reasons that I can point out, but my main rebuttal is I would say, do you feel like you're everything that your environment made you be, or something more? And I would say I'm something
Oh,
more. I'm different. Maybe something different,
yes.
and I contribute to my environment. I'm a human being in my environment, not a product just of it. So
Yes.
that's my main
100%.
thing, is like, and so in that sense I'm a causal agent. I don't, and that is free will to me. Like I like, and sometimes it's like it doesn't, and that's where it's complicated. It doesn't feel like free will in the sense that like our actions, it's always like free will like in retrospect, if that makes sense too.
Yes.
Like you do have to just do things, so you never are like always. And I feel like honestly Stoicism kind of acts like you can always rationally think through every little action you do. That's so unreasonable. I just don't understand how, like, that's a very Marcus Aurelius thing that to think, I feel like. What do you think of that? Maybe you haven't gotten there yet.
No, I'm not very
Okay.
super far yet.
He kind of,
Also go on
yeah.
support. Go on support. Oh, you're
Oh
off
shit.
lane. Let me go on jung.
Anyway.
Nope. Maybe you can see if you can switch with them.
Okay.
What was I gonna say?
Yeah, you'll get into that. I'm sure you'll have some takes. It's really interesting. Here, let me press it. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
What was the? Sorry, I got lost in that. What was the last thought specifically, like related to meditations that you were?
Oh, well, Marcus
Like,
Aurelius kind of thinks that, like, he thinks that every choice should have it should be a rational decision.
okay.
And I think that's his way of saying, like, that's when you exhibit your free will, is when you're making, you're like choosing to do it not out of, temptations. And then he goes into like how time shouldn't be, like, if you were to die tomorrow, like, that should be kind of like the basis for how you act. Like, you shouldn't act because you might get some sort of pleasure. Like, and then he goes into that. It's kind of all, I'm sure you've heard a little bit of that. But that's
Yeah.
all kind of connected to his idea that like every decision can have like a rational basis. And I just think that's a little ridiculous.
Yeah, and that's one thing I've learned more as I've read it, is it really is not. I don't know if it's. I mean, I don't know if he ever meant for anyone to even read it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
it might have been something where
I
he
get
wants
that
to
feeling.
read
Yeah, it's
back
like,
and be like, "Hey, this is what I thought before." You know what I mean?
yeah, true. That's something
But
you probably would write and then just not publish. You'd be like, wait, this is probably like a little far of a, like, you know what I mean? It just feels like a random
exactly, and
thought
that's
where
the
it's like,
thing.
okay, that's not very fleshed
That's
out, Marcus
also.
Aurelius.
Yeah, that's the thing too. It does feel
For a
crazy
king.
too when you're like looking. Also, maybe this is one of the first videos someone's into something like this, and you'll find this is it does feel kind of crazy when like you feel. I mean, it's the classic. I forgot we mixed it up, the Bader Meinhof or whatever the effect was, where you think you're a genius right away. Um, but it's not even like like thinking you're a genius. It's like you get into these things and you find something that clicks so well with what you believe, and you like take a stand on it. And I think you should take a stand, and that's why I think you should always be able to evolve your opinion and what you think.
Don't worry,
But like
I've
you
got
take the
this on
stand,
lock
and
and
then
load.
you look back even like a month later after reading a little bit more, and you're like, Jesus, I feel like I was like an extremist. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's like it is very very
Yeah.
interesting, and I feel like I wrote this the other day. I think I told you I have the notes thing because I want to write a book, and I like writing short stories, so I have like notes of just like sometimes it's like philosophical stuff, sometimes it's like ideas, whatever. And I wrote that
Sure.
like you really do have to have a certain level of intelligence to even interact with like philosophical texts to begin with, because there's a lot of assumptions that are made that like if you don't know to make them right away, you know what I mean? It's like there's things you have to know you can only go so far. If you get too far into the weeds, then it means nothing. You have to know that you have to be able to, like, it has to be a world that we can't even experience, because a lot of these times you're making theories and ideas off of an idealist world, because like our world is way too confusing and random to like make actual predictions, you know what I mean? And so that's one thing I realized.
Okay, it's maybe. It might be.
Okay.
That's still a
I
question.
mean, like I said, that's why. But okay, I don't think it's impossible.
Definitely be
but that's why I think like
Socrates
Socrates and Aristotle and all those people are geniuses, because they made predictions on our world to however long ago it was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, damn, they really knew how we act. Like,
bro, and they told us how to live, and we said, yeah. That's right.
Yeah, and it was like,
it's
wait,
still mostly right. Like, it's not all right, which is why we still have other philosophers that are important.
Exactly.
But yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just basically agreeing with it. I did see something recently about how someone was like sad that there's no there's no recent like philosophers that you're gonna like point to in like the 2000s. You know what I mean?
There's one that I really like, but yeah, he's not very popular.
That's what I thought
he
was. I thought it was funny because it's like, well, yeah, the thing is, people are thinking of like, the problem is, well, some people think we've already know they're all, no way Rampage is their fucking carry. All there is to know about like philosophy, so we can only expand on it. But that is the thing, is like the average like really popular philosopher or theorist or whatever it is really mostly going to be expanding on other things. So yeah, they're not going to get as popular as the person who like makes these theories. But if you're actually tapped in, then yes, there is relevant like philosophers and theorists.
Yes.
Like, it didn't just die.
Are there any that you like?
I haven't read any since college, honestly. Not that I don't think the ones that I liked in college were living. Like, they were in like the 90s, but I think they're dead by now. But I can't think of any like living ones right now that I've read very recently. Who's the one that you were saying?
You know Slavoj Žižek?
Yes.
I love him, bro.
Okay.
I actually used to like Noam Chomsky too, but I don't know if you...
Okay.
You know about
I know, and I've like listened a lot about what he's into, but I haven't actually read.
No, but do you know about he's in the Epstein file.
Systems offline.
Oh, really?
Yeah, bro. Like, pictures of him,
actually.
bro,
No
it's bad.
Way.
And guess what? I got my brother a book by him, like, for Christmas, and then he goes in them, like, after I got the book for him, before, like, right in the window, bro. So I had to write him a gift from your friend Jeffrey.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
But anyways, and Žižek would never do that. But I've always liked Žižek, and he's way more entertaining. He actually like, also this here is not very good either. He's he's a huge, like, I mean, I feel like he would love all this shit that we're talking about, but he's mostly a philosopher, but he's like also, honestly, just watch one of his lectures and see what you think. He will talk for 25 minutes and about like 1,000 different things. Like, it's kind of insane the way he's one of the, like, it's kind of, you just have to, he's an enigma, bro. He's great, like, but he's one of the smartest people, I think, like, of today. He's my favorite philosopher right now.
Yeah, I've been. Oh,
sorry, no, go ahead.
I've been listening to a lot more, just like philosophical. I've been only reading meditations, but I've just been watching a lot of videos and stuff. And his name's been coming up a lot, so I was thinking I should look into him once I'm done with meditations.
I would say I share a couple labels with him.
Share a couple labels, but no, that's one thing which I also appreciate, that because it does seem like you're very similar, but I've always been like that, where it's like, if you're going to be getting into this, like, why are you not picking labels and like finding something to identify with, because then it gives you like a base to jump off of while you're looking into other things as well. Doesn't always have to be right, but if you feel like it is in the moment, why not give it the old. Also, these guys might be pretty easy to dominate, so.
Yeah, they don't seem that good.
to understanding the universe.
God, yeah, these guys suck. Lord Fang.
Have you heard of Cornel West? He actually ran for president.
I've definitely heard that name in the last 2 weeks. I don't know if you said it before or if I heard it in one of the videos I was watching, but I have.
I kind of was just discovering him recently. Okay, this could get spicy, but he's like a critical race theorist.
Okay.
He's in that vein.
I took a class on it.
Okay, so you know some stuff. Okay, for sure. I know a little bit of stuff. I've dabbled.
I actually took a class with like a very, very like well-known.
Oh, that's cool.
Professor.
Yeah. U of M. Yeah, makes sense.
He was my favorite professor in my
Oh,
entire
dang.
4 years. He was so awesome.
Bro,
I forgot his. I'm terrible with names, so I forgot it. But I have his book, so I could find that. And
okay.
he was also cool. It was really cool. Or yeah, you should finish with that because I was gonna go
No, I
into
was
his
just
thing.
gonna say I buy a lot of that stuff, and like I actually at the very least like I'm really interested into it as like it's a completely like new way of thinking. It'll kind of like it'll bust your brain. Like it's like wow, like this, like even just like really contending with like race as a social construct and what that means, and like if that's true, like that should kind of affect the way you live in a little bit.
Yeah.
And he presents some really fucking good arguments. That's all I'll say.
Yeah. It's.
Anyways,
It is. It is extremely. The more I learn about like critical race theory and just like the levels to it, the more it made me feel stupid. And then I was just disappointed in like what I've learned in the past, because it's like I didn't even comprehend, like the stuff I'm hearing is almost incomprehensible to me because I knew so little of, you know what I mean? Like, wait, I'm going for Yuri. I have my dash here, so I should survive it. Oh my god, never mind, she has crazy movement. I'm dying. Oh, she's low. Dang, I almost had a full item in my pocket. But what I was gonna say, the one cool thing about well, not one cool thing. There was a lot of cool things, but so he had a lot of different. One of his like bigger books was talking about the effects of like the family when someone goes to prison, and like how that, and obviously with critical race theory, obviously we know that fucking black people go to prison higher. We don't need to go through all that, whatever. But like, so that's why he was connected to that. But that was really, really interesting because like even me, which I'm white, both my parents are white, whatever. But I could really like I've never doubted, I've never not like agreed with what I've heard of it, but hearing what he said about like the way that it affects it when I mean, I think you know this, I was born in a women's prison, and my mom, you know, and my like biological dad, you fucking nerd, just got out of like federal prison, whatever, and like the stuff he's saying, I'm like, holy shit.
I didn't know he was
like,
out, but yeah.
It's stuff in my life where it's like, damn, like this is stuff that's affected me, and I have all the perks of being white, so a lot of like the worst parts of it I've been able to get out of, you know what I mean? But so that is one thing that like, I mean, it's just, you feel so stupid because it's so obvious, and you're just like stupid ass, you know what I mean? But then it's like, damn, like this is, there's so many levels to it that so many people don't even understand. But the cool thing I
know you shouldn't feel stupid because most people have never touched.
Yeah, exactly.
Most people literally have way more opinions about critical race theory than they have read words of a book by a critical race theorist. Like it's
probably
fucking
any book in their
insane.
fucking life.
It's one of the most misunderstood things, I think, ideas in America, and propagandized for that matter, right?
Yeah,
like,
literally.
It makes sense. But yeah, you were gonna say. Sorry, I just got
so the reason I brought up that book before I said like what was interesting is because he is like the book that book is like his most well-known one, and he is like, he basically explained that like in the, oh my god, he almost sniped you, in like his world of like writing these books, you kind of get like, it's almost like being typecast, where it's like he became the prison guy, you know what I mean? And so he said he was talking about like as he was like going on like trying to write what was gonna be next. He said that he was starting to write about oh god, this got funky. I'm dead as hell. He said he was starting to write and interview porn stars and like OnlyFans significant others, and writing about like the effect that like their relationships and like how just kind of like the psychology of that, you know what I mean?
Right.
And he said like it was super interesting and he was like he liked writing it, but as he was doing it, his other book was getting really popular, and he was like, I can't become the porn guy. And so he basically was talking about how like even like it sucks because if you want to, you literally can't be like an all-faceted person who like does all these things because like you literally get put into a box, you know what I mean? And he made the joke about how like if he's gonna get put into a box, it's not gonna be the porn one. But like it was crazy to me because like even if you get like really popular and you get like some reclaim, you still won't have any. You still have to prove yourself in every other field. You know what I mean? Like it was interesting to me. I mean, it makes sense, but
Yeah, well, that makes a lot of sense. I'd like to know his name. I might know the name. I know like the major names, but not much of it.
I think his book might be in my.
This makes it sound like Drake Bell.
No, Drake Bell. No, it's
Or no, not Drake Bell. Fucking, there is like a Drake something. And a Bell something. I think I actually just combined two fucking.
I swear it's
names.
Michael something, but I'm not 100% sure. Sorry, I was listening to RT. Can you hear the teammate as well?
Yeah.
I was playing with Brock the other day, couldn't hear him. God, I swear it's like Michael's. I'm just so fucking bad with names. He literally was my favorite professor in college. I can't fucking remember.
Never mind.
Coming. Okay, he's just lying to me.
Yeah. Yeah, why would you give the call up before you're sure, bro?
Yeah.
I'm taking the tower.
But yeah, no, that. Definitely, I'm glad this game is starting to get good. I can just post the whole. I'll just post all the only
Yeah,
thing
chat. Drop
that's a
your
little
opinion
long,
on
but
critical race theory.
I was gonna say that's
Start
the
it.
thing. Right now in the chat, are you just a critical race theory propagandist? Do you really even know it?
Yeah,
There's
do you
a lot
know what it
I
is?
mean, everyone knows
Give me a
the word,
definition.
but like, have you
Yeah.
actually looked into it?
Like, even just a definition. Like, I think people's conception of like what it is just so off. It's so like it's not at all what people say it is. Especially when you learn about like what it started as. It's like it's actually just right. It's something that was proven right. It's a legal theory that's been like. I'm sure you know this. Maybe.
Yeah, no, I
Like
took
what it
an
started
entire
as.
class.
Like, yeah. Okay, then you definitely know this. Yeah. I forgot. Yeah. That it.
Oh my god, catch it.
I kind of want to read like some of the staple like papers from it,
Just my luck.
and even just intersectionality as a concept. Though I think I know enough.
Intersection,
About
that one of my favorite. Oh, you should look into this. It's James Baldwin and Nikki Giovanni, and
Okay.
it's an argument. I mean, obviously, you know, James Baldwin is one of the most known, like, I don't like civil rights activists, yeah, but like also like I don't know if it's like political theorist is the word, or you know what I mean? Like
Is he wait?
Just
Is he the comedian, or am I just tripping?
No,
Who am
I
I
don't think
thinking
he
of?
was a comedian. James Baldwin. I'm so bad with names. Maybe I'm saying the wrong name. But James,
Because
he's like,
there was something Baldwin that was like, but he was like the 60s or 70s. I don't know. Was it earlier than that you're talking about?
no, it'd be that. Let me.
No, he's like 90s. I think he actually just died not that long ago.
James. I was gonna say I would think he was old.
But he was actually a
not older,
comedian
younger.
and like he was a gay comedian, civil rights guy that would debate people. He would like debate like straight up white supremacists.
Writer. He was. It says he was a writer and civil activist. I didn't know about the comedy thing, but he very well could have been. It is James Baldwin though, for sure.
Alright, yeah, look it up.
But James Baldwin and Nikki Giovanni, and they're basically arguing about. He's basically arguing. They're both arguing the intersectionality of like being black in America. But Nikki Giovanni is talking about like the added layer of like being a woman, and like the other thing, and it's so interesting to me because like obviously when you listen to it, it's like yeah, obviously the intersectionality of being a woman is a whole nother layer on top of it, but it's so interesting the ways that like James Baldwin, something that you would like take to understand this stuff, and you would just expect to like kind of be on the right side of it, almost like fighting against her in a way where
Yeah.
like it's very, very interesting, and it kind of almost proves how much more difficult the intersectionality of being a black woman is, because black men don't even really agree with you.
Yeah.
So it's like no one,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So it was like, it's really, really interesting to me, and that's one of my favorite debates I've ever watched, so.
Yeah. Yeah, dang, that's a really good point. Yeah. And you notice how it's like, this is, okay, and this is part of where I say like, and especially like philosophically, like, when people, like, people have basically said things are gonna happen and they happen, like people notice these trends and then they just play out, like, when people have said kind of exactly what you're saying, right, about like how, and then said this could happen in like the realm of sexuality, and then just look at transphobia in feminism right now. It's like huge.
Yeah.
It's like, and it's like the same. To me, it's the exact same thing. It's like, it just makes perfect sense under the. It's almost like it's just like by rule. Like that just has to. I don't know. It's like a human phenomenon that there will be like the group, and then we're always discovering the groups that have been left out. And even just like in the world of like mental health, like I think about how young that is and stuff, and understanding the brain is kind of like a young thing too.
Yeah.
That like, I don't know. I feel like that'll just never stop being a thing where we, oh shit.
No, it literally, it's just so, it's the type of thing where, I mean, it convinces me like I have to constantly be checking myself and my beliefs, but it almost makes me so much more dumbfounded and disappointed in people who aren't constantly checking on, you know what I mean? It's like, if you can't understand the first of all, if you've never heard the word intersectionality, you got some work to do. And it's like, I never expect, when someone, yeah, it's hard to like define these words, it's like, that's okay, but you should at least have heard of them and like have a grasp, you know what I mean? And like,
yeah,
this is important because it's like, in our world, everyone has an intersection of a million different personalities and identities. You know, so it's like you have to understand the ways that can like being in those can affect someone.
Yeah.
And it's just
no, yeah, and of course, yeah, it especially matters in America. Yeah. I mean, America and other countries. Goddamn, they're fighting.
Okay, I'm gonna fucking mute them. They're so, I don't even hear words. It's just like, okay, there we go. Keeping my support unmuted though. Okay, also I'm 30 gold away from a full item. I'm standing here for a second. But yeah, sorry to cut you off. What were you saying?
There you go. Shit.
Another piece of
There.
the puzzle.
Middle lane.
The crunch is there. You should be able to.
I can help.
Oh, dude, I totally forgot you were offlane this whole time.
Have you been thinking?
I just fucking realized, but whatever. Game's still doing good, so.
Got him.
What's up, you in bed? Yeah. Why? Oh yeah, that's not gonna be happening. Also by everyone, it's just me and Job, but I'm trying to make a YouTube video, so I gotta stay. Sorry, bro.
You're done.
Yeah. Yeah, but you have to read at least 2 books of meditation. 2 books of meditation is like 10 pages. But I'm just kidding. We're just talking about meditations, but yeah, I'll watch tomorrow.
What's that?
That's good. That's sweet. Alrighty, well, have a blessed sleep then. Good night. Love you. And yes, if you're in the YouTube right now, not only am I a freaking philosophical genius, I'm freaking engaged, yo. Okay, I might teleport over to offlane to help here. Never mind, jungle's coming.
No way.
But
Thank
sorry,
you.
yeah, I forgot.
Oh, you're
where we
good.
were
I
at
don't need
before
help.
that. But
Unlocking new horizons.
yeah, dueling's going good as hell
Oh
though
my
for
God,
being
bro.
random.
I shouldn't have.
Oh, Crunch isn't even helping you. He's just.
Nah, he did help me, but he just left me. Oh, we have 2 fangs. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, no, we're doing really well. Might be able to get the sparrow here too.
You're done. Hack engage.
Yeah, bro. How do I
To
mute
adapt
these
or
fuckers?
face extinction.
You hold
Oh,
start
yeah.
and then do the microphone one. Yeah.
Mute all of them. So yeah,
Oh yeah,
basically.
I think we were asking chat for their thoughts and saying about intersectionality. But yeah,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
that I feel like that is a good starting point though, because there's a lot to think about when you start looking that and like just start, because like yeah, and people are like, oh well, I don't want to learn which these are fucking idiots, but like I don't need to learn about every identity that there is, whatever. But no, it's learning. If you learn about the big ones and the way that they intersect each other, you can use that knowledge to think about everything else. You know what I mean?
Yeah, bro. And most of the time is spent on the big ones. Like a lot of it is about like black people. Like you're trying to tell me that you don't need to learn about that, then you just don't care about American history at all, I guess. And then I don't even have a conversation with you.
Literally,
Like,
it's like,
it's
oh,
just like-
you don't even, and if you're religious on top of that, you're crazy because you live your life like nothing matters, but you think there's an afterlife. It's like, come on right now.
Yeah.
Calibrating trajectory for optimal re-entry.
Yeah.
Oh shit, I didn't realize your teammates are on orb. I'm going.
No.
And Sareth is an idiot? Damn, this orb might deadass make them quit. Oh, never mind, that's not even their jungle. Jesus.
Energy reserves depleted. Initiating recharge sequence.
Goated.
This looks promising.
Yeah,
Time for an
bro.
upgrade.
So
even
if someone
knocking
was in the chat right now saying I've never read anything philosophical, political science, anything wise, what would you recommend them?
You know.
Why would it be Republic?
Okay. I don't think. You know what's crazy?
Just kidding.
That's a.
Well, maybe.
Oh my god, that's such a good choice. It's between. You know what? It's not between. So I'm gonna have to ball. Let me take a stance. It's the Nicomachean ethic. It's Aristotle's ethic.
Oh,
It's
okay,
Aristotle's
yeah,
ethic. That is probably to me my. Like I just think it's the most when I read it the most like important to understand.
Yeah.
Like it's like
I think
this is actively like, and it's a lot of it's stuff where it's like, oh, this is just confirming what I already feel, but in a way that just makes it so much more comprehensive for me. It just like feels good. I don't know. Like when I was reading that, I don't know. It hit just a tiny bit. Wow. Rampage just chucked a rock at me from fucking Vietnam. I gotta shout out the Rampage on the other team. That was an insane toss. I didn't know that thing could go that far. But anyways, and Plato's Republic might be like a little bit more important though. So that's a tough one. But it's just for my
honestly
personal.
think the way that I did read it was
For your average person.
I think it was that way where Republic came second though. I'm pretty sure that's the way that I did read it, because I read all of
I read
like
Republic first.
the big Greek ones in one class, so it was kind of
okay,
spaced
nice.
that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. With that being said, though, if I'm gonna say just read one thing, like where you don't even have to.
Over to you. Coming over to you. You might kill her anyways, but.
don't know. I might not.
Yeah,
Oh.
they quit.
As,
Alrighty.
as we were like gonna maybe kill each other. What was I gonna say? Oh, if you're going like the intro to philosophy that I think someone should have is specifically Socrates like Last Days or whatever. It's just Socrates. What's it called? The Apology. The Apology.
Yes. Oh, that's
You
my
have to
favorite
read
of
the
all
Apology.
time.
That
oh
might
my
be. Oh wow.
god, the Apology. It's so.
Same,
Oh
bro.
man.
That was like
I
to me that
literally
changed my
oh, man.
life, bro.
That was when I remember reading that. I genuinely like was sitting there. I generally probably say to Macy twice a week that I wish I could just walk around and follow Socrates back in the day. Like I would have loved to just be in his entourage, bruh. Oh my
Dude,
god.
yeah. I didn't know philosophy could be fun, and then like the first philosophy I ever
Yes.
read was so fun, and it was so like
So much fun.
it was so enlightening and like the yeah. But my teacher was also he's my favorite professor I ever had was my intro to philosophy professor.
Okay.
Just because that class.
Yeah, I had
is-
some good profs.
So yeah.
Okay.
If you're in the
Also,
chat and
I
you're
feel like that's yeah. I was gonna say let's give it a clean break. What was your final words?
well, shoot, what are my final words? Stumbling here.
One
Wait, you
second,
give some
right?
final
No,
words.
This is sitting at 56. I'll probably cut out the beginning, so it'll be a 45-ish minute videos. My final words are: first of all, if you've gotten this far, respect to you, because you at least are. I mean, it's the chat we've been having. It has a high. I'd say like it's pretty base level stuff. I don't think we went anything too crazy, but it's still there's a lot to think about. And like if this is your first time hearing of it, I'm sure you're very confused and thinking of a lot. But like that's the best part of it because you just realized how much there is left to think about and learn, bruh. Life to me, life is the point of life is continue learning until there's nothing left, and you will never get to that point.
Yeah. Okay, that's great. That actually just gave me a perfect last thought, which is just here's the main thing that advice I would give myself even if I could go back is like don't get overwhelmed by what you don't know because you will never know everything you want to know, and like you were saying, that is the beauty of it. Like try to actually enjoy that. Sit with that and realize like and then you start your learning journey in philosophy, and I'll just say the first step is the hardest, which is just saying I'm going to go and do it. It's overwhelming, but I'm going to go read Plato's Republic and go from there. And
Exactly.
that's all you need to do. And maybe you read 3 philosophy books and you're done. But just know that it can feel overwhelming. I feel like every time I've known someone's gotten in philosophy, they just there's a point that they hit where they just is like there's so much like you can't know every philosophy. But just know the philosophy is for you. It's to enlighten you. So, and also be a stickler about the books you choose. Don't just read a book because someone recommended it. Like, read a book because you really want to and you find it interesting and it's a topic that seems relevant to you. Like, we do only have so much time on this earth. You have a little sense of urgency there.
I'm also being so dead ass if maybe your friends have told you getting this and this is why you're here, this is a little jumping pad. If I recommended a book to my friend and he told me he didn't fuck with it, I think that would be my favorite thing ever, to argue with why I fucked with a book someone didn't, or with a theory or a thought.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So I was gonna say just question everything and find people who do, because there's nothing better than that.
They're out there and they're not they may not be any in the town you live in right now, but they are out there.
They're so out there. There's 2 right here doing
Take advantage of the technology. You're listening to those people that are out there right now. We're out there.